This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring.
Today's video brought to you by YourDJDrops.com, the nation's hottest DJ drops.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Remix Report. It's another playlist Wednesday. We want to remind you once again that we will be at the DJ Expo in Atlantic City in August 13th through 16th. And if you're going to be there, please let us know. Send us an email to remixreport@gmail.com. Today, and put DJ Expo in the subject and let us know.
Today is Wednesday, which means Playlist Wednesday. You know, there's two kinds. There's the first kind is when we tell you how we play a certain song, what we played before and after. The second kind is when we do a list of a certain type of genre or our opening set list kind of thing, or maybe a new hip-hop list. Today's going to be the latter. We're doing a list today. And the list is going to be Moombahton, or tone, whatever you want to say.
Moombahton.
We already had Goozy explaining his side. He says it's Moombahton. I like to think it's reggaeton combined with Moombah, so it's
Moombahton.
Moombahton. I don't know.
I'm more partial to Moombahton as well. I guess.
Yeah, but you also think Demus isn't a DJ, so your opinion doesn't really matter.
Yeah, this list is pretty much all older songs, classic songs, if you will, that have been remixed with Moombahton. I'm
not the biggest supporter of the Moombahton movement, but some of these that you played for me, I did kind of like. So maybe I'll incorporate. I'm like one of the people who are visiting our site this week, and they're going to check, and they might learn something from your list. I'm one of them. Today I'm going to learn from the list as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of these, well, let's kind of go down the list. We can kind of talk about some of them a little bit. Starting us off, we have Ice Cube, You Can Do It. This is actually by our good friend DJ Fabian. Definitely a dope Moombahton remix.
So a lot of these are kind of blends with maybe a little chopping and maybe some rearrangement.
Yeah, a lot of them are like chopping, kind of almost like B-more style.
And they all have
if you will.
That's what makes it.
They all have that reggaeton drum pattern.
Well, you know what it's from? Do you know what it's from? The one song. It's all. It's from the song "Dem Bow" by Shabba Ranks, which is where reggaeton actually came from. That's it's actually not a silly little thing. That's actually like kind of widely known that it came from that particular song, and that was the beat of that song. So reggaeton is actually from reggae, which I mean that makes sense, but it's from that particular song actually.
Yep. All right. Good to know. Let's see. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that one. Sister Nancy, Bam Bam. Good Moombahton remix of that. If you want to bring your reggae set a little up tempo more.
Why don't you add the Chaka, Demus, and Pliers, Murder She Wrote, the Brooklyn Young remix? We'll add that. Put it right next to Sister Nancy if you want to keep your reggaeton.
Those go very
someday
well
together.
Together.
Someday we'll have a list. It'll be a playlist Wednesday of reggaeton, Moombahton songs.
Let's see, 20 Fingers, You Gotta Lick It. This is the Moombahton part gets pretty heavy. More like I guess the Sister Nancy, Bam Bam, and Murder She Wrote are more, I guess you could say, Moombah soul side of things, a little more subdued, laid back. The 20 Fingers, You Gotta Lick It definitely goes into like a heavy, housey Moombahton breakdown.
You know what's funny is I just corrected JD had wrote Chaka, Demus, and Pliers, but it's actually Pliers. It's not the same guy. It's not Pliers who did Becky. This is someone else.
Yeah. All right, 900 number, the Doc Adam Moombahton flip. Definitely if you want to add some extra drums to your 900 number set.
There's certain songs that always get an oh shit reaction, and 900 number, when people hear that, I mean, if you're not playing Let Me Clear My Throat and you drop it any other way, that always gets a reaction.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Same way how Rough Ryders' Anthem always gets a good reaction. It's one of those songs that you drop and people go crazy.
Which is why Rough Ryders' Anthem is also on this list. The Collabs Crazy Moombahton Bootleg. I think I've used this in some of my playlist examples in the past, and that's because it's really dope. Let's see, Missy, Elliot, Get Your Freak On, Alvaro and Punish Bootleg. Luniz, I Got 5 on it. Daims and ChriSupreme, MoomBAYton remix.
Because they're from the Bay.
Definitely dope. It's also like kind of chill, laid back. Some of these you could really use in your opening set, I think.
It's nice that we have a Moombahton remix of a reggaeton.
Yeah, Rompe, the Willy Joy bootleg, to bring that one back. Still Not a Player, Stereothieves, edit. This one actually drops down to the original Big Pun, Still Not a Player track, and then build it back up. Choppy, more of a choppy remix. Definitely more for your opening set. Let's see, Lil Jon, Get Low, Das Borachos remix. This is my favorite remix of Get Low, the MoomBAYton style.
I'll have to check this one out. Have you used this one in a Playlist Wednesday before?
I don't believe so. I think I might have used a different one, maybe the Alvaro and Punish.
Okay, oh, there's others.
I think they have one as well.
I know you've used the Rough Riders Anthem.
Yeah, and the Missy Elliot.
We're still not sure if DMX approved of that.
This Get Low remix gets pretty heavy also, so it's definitely a prime time type remix.
As most MoomBAYton probably is.
Let's see. California Love, Rico Tubbs Moombah remix. This one honestly isn't one of my favorites. The acapella used in this one isn't great quality, but if you work it into your set, you might be able to use it.
It's always good if you're to have a certain song at any BPM range in case someone requests it right now. If you're the kind of person, if you listen to those right now requests, then it's good to have something at every BPM range.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Oasis, Wonderwall, Milo, and Otis MoomBAYton remix. Definitely one of my favorites on the list. Also gets pretty aggressive in the breakdown, but definitely really dope.
So now you have Wonderwall at one time.
Yeah.
How fun if you're playing if someone asks for levels and you're playing something at 70, you're like, perfect. Here's the trap remix. If you're at 88, you gotta have the drum and bass remix. If you're at 100. Maybe you have a transition that you got from DJ City or DMS that'll take you there. And now if you're at 110, 115, I'm sure there's obviously some kind of MoomBAYton remix of levels, which we didn't make the list, but there's definitely, I promise you there is one.
Definitely, yeah, because we kept this kind of old school.
If at 120, I'm sure somebody did like kind of a soulful, kind of slow it down remix too.
See, I like some of these MoomBAYton tracks because that 105 to 115 BPM range has just been so dead lately that it's kind of nice to get some fresh remixes in that range, kind of freshen up that set, get some new sets going, and obviously I think there's a lot of crappy MoomBAYton out there right now, but hopefully if you know anywhere to get some dope MoomBAYton, maybe you can leave that in the comments for everybody, because I definitely want to know some new MoomBAYton.
It's not so much the 105. Well, 105 is not a problem. And 110's not even as much of a problem. It's more the how do you get from 110 back to 126, 127. That's
right.
That's difficult for me sometimes. I mean, a lot of times the Holler Boys. What was that at 115 with the Justin Timberlake, that break?
Yeah, Like I Love You.
Yeah, the Like I Love You break that they did. I forget the name of it right now. Party Over Here. That one. There's also It Takes Cool, the original It Takes Scoop, one of those. Those are at 115, and now it's like, all right, I always play those to get from 110 to 115. Now what do I play to get from 115 to 125?
Well, some of these are good for that too. You can actually, like the Wonderwall, I've done this before. Start off at 110, and then as it's kind of building up to the breakdown, I pitch the tempo up to even all the way up to like 120, maybe even 125.
Is that on CDJs?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. You can get pretty close. You can get to like 120, 122 on turntables, but you can't.
So I keep my CDJs at +6. He uses the +5000. Which
I usually keep them at +6 too, but I'll switch them if I need to use more.
The other day I forgot to do that, and I just tapped the little pitch slider thing, and all of a sudden, next thing I noticed, it went up like 40 BPM. I was like, "Whoa! I forgot to make it +6."
But some of these, the harder MoomBAYton breakdowns, sped up, sound really good at the house tempo. They sound like a house breakdown, so you can really use some of these to transition like that. So
they become they go from MoomBAYton to tribal when you bring them back up to 126.
Yeah. So maybe that'll work for some of you guys. Let us know what MoomBAYton tracks you're working out in your sets.
Have you noticed, by the way, that more and more remixes at least have the tribal drums? It seems more than ever now.
Yeah, it's kind of
I don't know if it's because
I'm thing right now. I think
it could be maybe that I'm hearing more up-tempo stuff than I've ever heard before, so that might be why too. But I seem to notice a lot of songs that have that extra bounce to them.
I think that's what's in right now, kind of. So,
Cool.
yeah. Let us know what you think. You can leave a comment or email us at remixreport@gmail.com.
remixreport.com.